He started at the beginning. He was passionate and crazy, and at the end, he was more passionate and crazier. No, he's become a very good friend, and I had no, other than his films, I didn't know him, except that I directed this little movie, and I had called him. He doesn't remember this, but I called him a long time ago, asking him about a couple of his editors that I thought were pretty impressive in Amores Perros. And it turns out I think he was in the editing room cutting as much as his editors were. So, but I had no, I had seen these really diverse films and was an enormous fan, like everyone, I think. And then, you know, it's a movie where there's no choice but to be intimate and talk. And he's extremely open and forthcoming about his personal life and what he thinks about things. And that's, you know, it really transfers to the film because he's just really courageous. You know, and then I like to think that I've always been courageous in my work because I think that's part of the deal. But this made it even more so. Just opens the doors and said, "This is who I am. This is what we are as human beings." You know, warts and all, and that's how Alejandro is. You know, and it just got the relationships just got better and better and better, and it's really, he's become a very, very good friend. He's a sweet dude. He's tough, you know, really tough. He's a taskmaster. And he's very, very, very specific and perfectionistic. And I tend to be a little bit that way myself. But so that could be a good thing or not a good thing. It turned out, I think, to be a very good thing. I just got this, when I say overwhelming, literally overwhelming tribute in Santa Barbara at Santa Barbara Film Festival. And what he said, I don't know when I'm going to be able to sit down and absorb it. It was too much. It was way too much, what he said about me. And I'm someday, I can't even imagine, I got to think about what I'm going to write because it's so overwhelming, what he said, how beautiful it was.
Jason Nathan's in ABC Radio.
Hi.
When you've given some great speeches so far this award season.
Oh, thanks.
When you're thinking of those and what you're
Pressure's on now. I'm sorry.
Are you playing to the audience in the room, the audience at home? Who are you thinking of in your head?
I'm thinking of, honestly, it's really interesting what happens because a lot of stuff just gets tossed. These things, there are just so many people to thank, honestly. And, you know, I've been doing this a while now, so the list is longer and longer, and it gets longer and longer and longer. And sometimes you think, I just can't get to everyone. And you're going to get sick of it, I'm sure, but or if you're not sick of me already. But the word grateful, I'm just going to keep saying it and saying it and saying it and saying it. Look, you're talking about a dude who gets up in the morning and goes 2 arms, 2 legs, lungs, eyes. I'm pretty much good to go. I drop to my knees, if not literally, quite often. So, you know, I'm already figure I'm halfway there. So when I think about what I want to say, I try to make it and put it in some order. My kid gets very nervous and says, "Dad, remember, you get kind of tangential. You know, you keep it kind of focused." And I think it's because I maybe want to. There are a lot of things I want to say. So often what happens is I keep a basic idea of things that I think need to be said or I want to say, and then I toss a lot and I just go with how I feel, you know. I didn't know that I would ever get a chance to thank my family. So I thought, who knows what's going to happen, you know, within the next 10 minutes. So I want to get that done, you know, and where I came from and, you know, what kind of touch on what my life's been like, which has, you know, been a pretty classic bootstrap American story, frankly, to be honest with you, since I've been, you know, cutting lawns for about $1.25, literally, since I've been about 14 years old, and all the jobs I ever had, you know, shoveling asphalt and working on survey crews and working, you know, behind bars, and I've had a zillion of those, and, you know, making enough money to get in an acting class or a workshop and just keep at it and keep at it and keep at it. Turns out, I never thought this, but turns out I have a work ethic, and I didn't know that, but I have a very strong work ethic. And so it's just basically how I feel and what I think, you know, and it's nice to be older because you really don't care about a lot of things anymore. You just, you know, fuck it. You know what I mean? After a while, that's the greatest thing. You just really don't care what people think. I would prefer that people like me. But you know, so you kind of say, I'm going to say what I want to say and how I feel, and you know, it's just as honest. And you know, I come from a family and a place geographically and a culture that's authentic, you know, and true. And if you're not true to that, you know, I could be dead tomorrow, and I never want to look back and think I was kind of a bullshitter, you know.